discover the natural power of ashwagandha, an ancient herb known for its healing properties. For over 3,000 years, ashwagandha has been trusted to reduce stress, increase energy, and improve focus. Our ashwagandha is carefully grown, harvested, and processed to retain its maximum potency. Each root is hand-picked and dried, then ground into a pure organic powder, ensuring the highest quality. Simply mix 1 teaspoon into your favorite beverage or take it in capsule form as prescribed by a healthcare professional. Whether you're looking to balance your stress levels, boost your immune system, or enhance mental clarity, ashwagandha offers a natural solution. Experience the benefits of ancient wisdom backed by modern science. Trust nature. Trust ashwagandha. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition Store.
Good afternoon, family. Hope you guys are doing amazing this wonderful Wednesday. It's exactly 21 minutes past 8 p.m. and karibuni sana to another episode of the Africa Today Show. My name is Joby. To those who are here for the first time on all our YouTube channels, returning listeners on the radio station, Spreaker, and Spotify as well. Karibuni, hope you're having a great day. Karibu sana Kate, how is your day going?
I'm good, Joby. How are you?
I'm easy, can't complain. I can't complain at all. Yeah, so we're going to be talking about, as we talk about the Epstein files, I'm going to start with this conversation right here of how Europe actually is abandoning Visa and the MasterCard currently. That is, of course, which is going to...
Yeah, it's going to cost trillions of dollars of American money, exactly. They abandon your shit. Yeah, they abandon your Visa and your MasterCard, exactly, Joby. So, America, you're going to lose even more trillions of dollars. And so everything's going to skyrocket. Because you were doing evil shit. People said, okay, we're not going to deal with MasterCard and Visa no more.
Exactly. So let me start with this video right here. This lady explaining it as we continue.
Visa and MasterCard, Europe realized that almost 95% of their payment processing went through United States payment systems. What really started this was when Visa canceled Russia. They cut from their networks in 2022. They thought ain't nobody see this. So if you cut him off, we didn't even think about that. They can just shut off our payment systems. They were like, oh, we have to immediately get some new payment systems in here because this is dangerous. The head of the European Payment Initiative, deep integration created dependencies that could be abused when not all partners were allies. So they didn't switch payment systems. It's called Wero, W-E-R-O. And they already have 48.5 million people using the system. And by 2027, they're going to remove all of their stuff out of Visa and MasterCard and put it into their domestic payment system. Do you know what that's going to do? I'll tell you, that's going to cost American system $24 trillion. 1.4 trillion of that is MasterCard alone. It processes over 7 trillion euros annually. It's 1.5% on the fees. That equates to about $21 billion we're about to lose. So that's Microsoft, Teams, Visa, MasterCard. Who else? And they thought we were friends. They thought we were cool. There wasn't going to be no problems. We'll stick beside y'all. Y'all stick beside us. And then Trump came. Second time. Because it ain't us. We're not that evil. We wouldn't do that. But you didn't think it was going to happen this fast, which is what a lot of people are saying. They didn't think that they would be able to switch so quickly to a new payment processing system. And what's so great about their new payment processing system, you ask? I'll tell you. Their payment processing system is a tap to pay. It's a one-click checkout. And they have instant refunds. Not 7 to 10 business days in America. You took it instantly out my account. They called it a geopolitical urgency to unacceptable vulnerability to policy volatility. Is that not good? Because it's succinct. That's a proper sentence. Also, the ICE protests are causing such a problem overseas because everyone is seeing what's happening, especially what happened in Minnesota, they're redirecting their investment dollars. They're investing in Canada and Europe now. This is what has to happen. You have to see the consequences of your choices. You don't want to play with nobody nicely. You think everybody sweet. Okay. Europe is canceling visa.
Yeah, so that is what is happening. So this is going to be affecting America very, very hugely, literally. And I think it didn't start just with Europe. I think we started talking about this. That was since last year or early 2024, where many countries even literally are ditching America because of not only the debt, but they're ditching America to focus on their own things. And I want to share that as well, a couple of videos on that still.
Gotta hear it. I wish I knew the author because I want to give them credit. All right, let's call this what it is. Perfectly timed economic judo. And Trump just ran face first into the mat. While Trump is over there banging his favorite broken toy, tariffs, like a toddler with a plastic hammer on a coffee table, the EU quietly did something grown-ups do. They signed a massive free trade deal with Mercosur that's been 20 plus years in the making. 20 years. That's patience. That's planning. That's not, I woke up angry and threatened half the planet on social media. And the timing? Chef's kiss. Trump rolls out his shiny new 10% tariffs, then threatens 25% tariffs like he's upping the ante at a poker table while everybody already knows he's bluffing. He's targeting EU countries because they dare to say, no, mate, you don't get to just muscle Greenland like it's a monopoly property. So what does Europe do? Do they panic? Do they tweet? Do they throw a tantrum? No. They say, cool, while you're busy with tariffs, we'll just lock in one of the biggest free trade zones on earth with South America. That's not reaction, that's strategy. This deal links Europe with Argentina, Brazil, Paraguay, Uruguay, hundreds of millions of people, enormous agricultural supply, massive industrial demand, new markets, new leverage, new options. The exact thing Trump hates most because it proves a horrifying truth. The world does not need to revolve around the United States.
True.
Especially with Trump in charge. This is what tariff fatigue looks like in real life. Countries don't scream back, they don't beg, they don't posture. They quietly build alternatives and leave you shouting into the void. Trump thinks tariffs are power. They're not. They're attacks on your own people and an invitation for everyone else to reroute around you. And Europe just rerouted in spectacular fashion. And let's be very clear, this isn't abstract. This deal weakens Trump's leverage directly. When you've got diversified trade, when you've got access to food, energy, and manufacturing inputs from another hemisphere, suddenly some loud orange bloke threatening tariffs sounds a lot less scary. This is the EU saying, you don't scare us, you don't corner us, and you definitely don't bully us into handing Greenland over like it's a souvenir fridge magnet. Trump's entire negotiating style is based on one assumption, that everyone needs him more than he needs them. This deal punches that assumption straight in the throat. While he's playing checkers with tariffs, Europe's playing long-term chess with supply chains. While he's yelling, America first, Europe's saying, fine, we'll trade elsewhere. And that's the real blow here. Not the headlines, not the symbolism, the fact that when those 10% and 25% tariffs land, Europe's going to feel them a lot less than Trump thinks. And that's impeccable timing. That's what impeccable timing looks like. No shouting, no theatrics, just a quiet, coordinated move that leaves the bully swinging at air. Trump wanted to show strength. Europe just showed competence. And competence always wins in the end. There you go.
Are you all watching what's taking place around the world right now? Our own allies are turning on us. Our friends are abandoning the United States in real time. This is Copenhagen, Denmark. People out there with the flags of Greenland protesting the United States. Thousands of them. Copenhagen right now. Here's another angle of that protest in Copenhagen.
This was in January.
Copenhagen. Here's Greenland. Yankee go home, because Donald Trump is threatening to invade Greenland. Here's a sign that was seen at that protest. F Trump, F Vance, F USA. This is Greenland right now. They have a population of tens of thousands, and many of them are out in the streets protesting against the United States. The Prime Minister of Sweden said, "We will not let ourselves be blackmailed. Only Denmark and Greenland decide issues concerning Denmark and Greenland. I will always stand up for my country and for our allied neighbors." Emmanuel Macron of France also put out a statement saying that they stand with Denmark and Greenland. They're sending troops to Greenland to participate in military exercises against the United States. Leaders from a number of different European countries have come out and condemned Donald Trump, condemned his tariff threat, condemned his possible invasion of Greenland. The world is turning on us. Our friends are turning on us. Our allies are turning on us. It is embarrassing for the United States on the world stage right now.
40 nations are currently in talks to basically cut the United States, because of Donald Trump, out of global trade. There are 195 recognized nations/countries on planet Earth. 195. 40 of them, led by Canada, banding together to just cut out the United States. So more than 1/5 of the planet working on a way to not have to deal with the United States anymore. This includes our neighbors to the north, Canada, our neighbors to the south, Mexico. This includes the European Union and the United Kingdom. This includes major Asian countries like Japan. According to these reports, and again, this is kind of all being, spearheaded by Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney, what they're trying to do is avoid all of the tariffs that Donald Trump has put in place on everybody. And then, of course, they have typically had to do reciprocal tariffs. So everything for them gets more expensive because they're dealing with the United States. So all of these nations have gotten together and said, wow, dealing with the United States is expensive and it's costing us business. How do we get around that? And their solution is, well, what if we all just trade with each other and not these idiots? And that is currently what they're working on. So instead of relying on the US market to sell their goods, they're going to just start selling to each other and open up new markets that previously hadn't been there. They will grow. They will expand. They will see this financial boom from doing business and trading with everybody in this new coalition. And we, those of us here in the United States, will lose everything. Oh, sure, we'll still have to buy their goods because we depend upon them, and Trump will still have the tariffs, so we'll still pay a higher cost for that. But our goods here in the United States that are already having a hard time selling overseas, just ask any farmer, we will lose those markets. Farmers who are already facing financial ruin, which is exactly what they told Congress about 3 weeks ago, they're going to go under. They will lose everything. Manufacturing here in the United States will go extinct virtually. Because sure, we'll still need to make some things to sell to us here in America, but we're not going to have other countries coming to us, knocking on our door saying, hey.
All right, we're in phase 2 now. The BRICS countries, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa are trying to end their dependence on the US dollar. And just a couple of weeks ago, China...
But as we talk about it still, I feel like this is a focus still coming back to Africa literally again, as much as they're, because you're shifting your direction from the dollar to what now? To what resources do you have? Of course, this comes back literally to Africa and explains a lot why we have so many European countries which are currently showing so much interest in many African countries.
Sold a record amount of US debt. They sold roughly $50 billion worth of US bonds, and the progress toward de-dollarization is now continuing. So in today's video, I want to help explain one of the most interesting things that's happening in the world today, why it's happening, and how this will affect us. And not just us, but our children and our children's children. So with that said, let's get into it. Hi, my name is Andre Jick. Hope you're doing well. Come for the finance and stay for one of the most boring topics of all time, macroeconomics. So to spice things up, cue the storytelling and initiate the dramatic music. So when most people think about investing, they mostly think about the stock market. And when people think about the stock market, they mostly think about individual people buying individual stocks. But that's just one of the characters of this universe. When you zoom out, you'll notice that it's a multiverse made up of a lot of different assets. And one of the biggest assets in the world is the bond market. And when you zoom out far enough, you'll notice it's not just people buying up these assets, it's also entire countries. Now, at the center of this multiverse of characters is the US bond market, because it's seen as one of the most stable and safest investments anyone can ever make. The global bond market is estimated to be worth roughly 3 times more than the global stock market. Part of the reason why this is because stocks represent ownership in something, and bonds represent the debt. What's crazy is we will always have more debt than ownership of stuff, and this will be true for infinity. Think about it like this. If all the world ever had was this much money, as long as the concept of borrowing money in exchange for paying interest is a concept that exists, where would someone go to pay for the interest on a loan if this is all the money that exists? It would be impossible. We'd have to create more debt to pay for the debt that we've created. And that's ironically why this piece of fabric doesn't represent ownership of stuff. It represents an instrument of debt. Now, the US has a debt level of over 34.7 trillion. Countries sell this debt, aka bonds, and then people in foreign countries invest in them. And for the US, between $7 to $8 trillion is owned by other foreign countries. The US needs everyone, including other countries, to buy our US treasuries, because
Canada is not the...
So I'm going to stop it at that and then just cue this other video here explaining more about, again, the dollar collapsing, because maybe still many people don't understand, because there's so many videos of people who are doing it, talking about how America is in a very, very bad place currently. Many people are living in their cars. There's a video I was watching of so many people right now. Again, they're living in their cars. I think I shared that last week or 2 weeks ago. Last week, people living in the cars because of the housing, how expensive it is, and all that. It's
Josh Sigurdson of World Alternative Media here, and Mark Rubio just admitted the quiet part out loud in an interview, but with, of course, the only station he does interviews with, it seems, Fox News. So let's hear what he says about the collapse of the US dollar.
Today, Brazil, in our hemisphere, largest country in the Western Hemisphere south of us, cut a trade deal with China. They're going to, from now on, do trade in their own currencies, get right around the dollar. They're creating a secondary economy in the world, totally independent of the United States. We won't have to talk about sanctions in 5 years because there'll be so many countries transacting in currencies other than the dollar that we won't have the ability to sanction them.
So there you have it, my friends. He's admitting exactly what we've been warning of for a very long time. And this comes shortly after Donald Trump says that a weakened dollar is good for America. We reported on that recently in a video we did with Mark Gonzalez regarding also the new Fed chair, who, of course, is a Bilderberger and someone who is heavily involved with what they would call the deep state. Again, we have a lot to go into today because the news of this shift into the Chinese order, which we've talked about in recent times at the World Economic Forum, they've been openly acknowledging that the old world is collapsing. Trump is bringing down the old world. Yeah, that sounds like a good deal, getting rid of the old world order, but it's to replace it with a new world order, which is on the side of the East. From the west to the East, we're seeing power shift towards China, towards BRICS. And there is a lot that is happening right now regarding BRICS. And with China reserving gold, more than 74 million ounces with a worth of over $367 billion, as Russia has $400 billion of gold for the first time. And as we see the shift towards the yuan being used as a global payment, which of course will be digital despite the gold. So we want to go into this and more today, my friends. Before we do, I urge you to check that link below. First, it has to be that example order opportunity and consultation with Mark Gonzalez, the form that you began. Mark right now is sick with a bit of a cold, but he'll be back shortly. But in the description on for time to alternative media on page. Appreciate it. Thank you for keeping independent media alive. Now let's get into this. So I'm going to listen to this one more time. And I apologize if the audio on it is a little low. It's as low. It's the original video posted here. It's just the audio seems slightly low compared to my voice on here. So you might have to just turn up your volume a little bit while we're playing this. Let's hear this one more time.
Today, Brazil, in our hemisphere, largest country in the Western Hemisphere south of us, cut a trade deal with China. They're going to, from now on, do trade in their own currencies, get right around the dollar. They're creating a secondary economy in the world, totally independent of the United States. We won't have to talk about sanctions in 5 years because there'll be so many countries transacting in currencies other than the dollar that we won't have the ability to sanction them.
He's basically saying the dollar is done. The dollar is dead. And of course, that was Marco Rubio, of course, Secretary of State. And he, well,
that's why they were trying to create crypto and shit. I meant to say that bit of Joby. How they now crashing crypto because that shit was fake. Like I said, guys said the same thing I said. Remember the Japanese motherfucker named Satoshi Nakamoto? Give me a break. But they've been trying to sanction people with the dollar. They weaponized it, and now it's being destroyed. And people say, "Oh, no, they've been stealing money, stabilizing the world." And so they're trying to get out from the dollar. Go ahead, Joby.
The early 2010s, John McCain, Lindsey Graham, and of course with the help of the support of Obama. Now, the dollar is dying. Trump has recently said that a weak dollar is good for the economy, which is crazy because the economy is the dollar. And of course, what he's saying could be true if we're talking about trade and the markets. Yes, a weak dollar could be good in competition with other countries when it comes to trade. But for the actual consumer, the person going to the grocery store, absolutely it is not, and your life savings get weaker and lesser as the days go by. Always devaluing. All fiat currencies eventually revert to their true value of zero. They always have. They always will. Go back to 1024 AD in China. This is an astonishing statement because, as I've said for a long time, eventually they'll just acknowledge it. They'll just admit to it. They'll say for years that everything's going fine. I mean, under Biden, we had Janet Yellen as a Treasury Secretary going and meeting the Chinese. And, of course, it turned out that she ended up doing a bunch of magic mushrooms while meeting with them. That was interesting. She didn't seem like the type, right? But this was just basically a demoralizing factor in the downfall of the Western order in favor of the Eastern order. I've talked for a long time, social media companies meeting with the Chinese despite China banning their sites in their country because they are utilized in order to demoralize the West and get everyone in the West to give up all their information. As I've said for a long time, and I have to rephrase it quickly for those that don't know. If you go back to the 1970s, okay, first of all, 1948, after the attacks on Pearl Harbor in 45, fast forward
45.
19. Well, in
that's 41, you moron. Hey, get your date right, stupid. It's not 40. Attacks on Pearl Harbor was 41.
Not 45. The attack on Japan in 45.
Yeah.
And all that kind of stuff. Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Fast forward to Japan falling to their knees after years of dominating China. China being propped up 1948 and massive starvation events leading to something very interesting happening in 1971-72. Kissinger meeting with Mao Zedong to create an alliance with China to prop them up as a monopoly on trade.
Exactly. Pause it. Like exactly. That's what exactly. That's what I said when they decided they're gonna take poor ass China and make it a manufacturing hub because they had been dominated by the Japanese so long. And I told you that the Japanese-Chinese hate is real. I lived in that shit. Me being, I understand. I'm like Joby. I thought that you all look alike to me. Oh no, oh no. I thought, ain't y'all all the same people? Oh no, oh no. That ain't just like it's like black people hating each other the same way. The Japanese do not like Chinese people at all. They feel like they're superior to Chinese people, and they feel like if left alone, they would dominate them again. That's what the Japanese feel. If these white people weren't there to help these Chinese people, we'd dominate their ass again. That's what they feel. Because remember, not only did Japan dominate China, they dominated all of Korea too. They had the Koreans as slaves. So Japan was really mad that they lost World War II. Because remember, they said, we're going to rule Asia. No white people. We're going to rule the Chinese, the Japanese, the Indians. We're going to rule all this shit over here. And so, when they lost World War II, Japan was shattered, right? And so they're still mad that they see China propped up. Then you ask a Japanese, say that shit China is not real. They didn't do it. White man propped them up. Our stuff we did ourselves. White man propped that bullshit up. They'll tell you to your face. That shit's all fake. Chinese ain't do that shit. They propped up by white people. So, and shout out to this dude. He probably got the lights. I remember he's in Puerto Vallarta. We're gonna look at. You guys don't know what's going on in Mexico right now. America is in Mexico, killing the cartel members, right? Pretend it's the Mexican government, but they're destabilizing Mexico. Same way they do Africa. And if this dude stationed out of Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, he better keep his ass in the house. But they're gonna put a bullet in his head. Because they just on the streets killing everybody in Mexico. Because I was just on the border yesterday on the Mexican border. Me and this other Mexican guy was laughing. He said, you ain't going across the border all year. I said, hell no. He's like, neither am I. So, but go ahead, Joe. Go ahead, let me keep talking.
Collapse, because again, the West has always propped up the people that will then eventually replace them. It was always by design. It's been happening for a long time. The script was written long ago. Okay, so then we have also just a couple years earlier, I think 1969, Charles de Gaulle, former president of France, at the time he was president of France, sending battleships to New York Harbor demanding their
gold back. Their gold back.
Nixon said, well, we don't have your gold. Because they didn't actually have the gold in Fort Knox that they claimed. So that leads to them shifting off the gold standard into the fiat currency system. And then we see the Kissinger again meeting with the Saudi
Arabia,
creating the petrodollar system agreement for the dollar to be world reserve currency based on oil. That's where the faith came from, even though it wasn't real. It was all debt. They just fractional reserve. They print more than they have. Someone owes you $1 and they print $1. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Not a Ponzi scheme.
Then we see the creation of the Trilateral Commission with the Rockefellers and, of course, Zbigniew Brzezinski. We recently found out that Jeffrey Epstein was a major member of the Trilateral Commission and the Rockefeller Foundation, despite no one knowing who he was. Coming out of nowhere because it's an intelligence agency.
He didn't come out of nowhere. Jeffrey Epstein didn't come out of nowhere. He was put there by the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, to do their bidding behind the scenes because they all been eating babies and fucking them and all this other wicked shit. So of course he's clicked in with that file. Go ahead, Joe.
To control the world and force the world into technocracy. I have a book here called Trilaterals Over Washington, Volumes 1 and 2 by Patrick Wood and Anthony C. Sutton, which goes into this. And of course, China's propped up as a guinea pig state for technocracy. And we've seen that back going to the early 2010s. China reaches this point where suddenly they are the superpower. They have Sesame credit, as we know, as social credit. They have facial recognition everywhere. Now they have robots on the street, robot police.
That's what they want. Yeah, pause it. Yeah, because they were using China as the test bed to put that wicked shit around the world. Exactly. That's why they made China into a technical hub, because they're going to use China to push this wicked shit around the world. I've always told you, China's not a damn real country. It was created and installed these robots and this surveillance system and everything else. When you think they're fighting, they're not. They're trying China's control. Go ahead, Joe.
Where's Kurtwood Smith when you need him? Bad reference. Anyway, when you have this system being propped up, eventually the idea is that the West will then succumb to it itself out of necessity. Even if it wasn't all falsified, it would happen eventually. But it was falsified. It was created as that bridge. So when one system collapses, they already have a system ready as a solution.
Exactly. That's the bricks. Exactly. Pause it. That's why I told you I need this goopy cracker. The bricks. I told you they created the bricks. When they crush America, what they always do, what the hats to do. They'll crush one system and have the other system up and running, and you think it's an adversary when it's not adversary. It's just they're destroying the one system to create their new system. Go ahead, Joe.
Tyranny comes under the guise of convenience, and this will be a convenience system. So this is all by design, and it was always going to get to the point where eventually you have the West acknowledging the shift into the East while pretending to struggle and push back and kick back. It's just not real. Trump's meeting, I believe, in April with Xi Jinping. It's all veneer. It's all just, it's a concrete building with a brick veneer. The building is not made out of a brick. It's made out of concrete. Brick is just for appeal, for veneer, for the facade. And that's what we're seeing is a facade right now. Again, the social media companies now, with them saying in the United States you need 5 years of social media to enter the country, that's social credit. That is social credit, and that is exactly how they've utilized these social media companies in order to move into that Chinese system as they meet with the Chinese government, even though they're not allowed in that country. It was always part of that Shanghaiing of the public, utilizing convenience and fun and addiction, scrolling through, the most awful things. Or cat videos, for that matter, too, which isn't so awful, but all the same, part of the same agenda. Keep us staring at our screens and giving up all of our information. Now, this is happening as a Chinese yuan hits highest level against US dollar since May 2023. We had the Canadian trade deal, the UK trade deal, and many others right now, where we also have, and I mentioned Saudi Arabia before, with the petrodollar system, now full circle, Saudi Arabia is talking about joining BRICS, and they have...
Pause. Now, you notice the cats with their heads doing this, because if America's still in control, they would never allow Saudi Arabia to move a goddamn thing. They would have blown it out the water. Remember, America protects Saudi Arabia from its own people. This country is so corrupt. This country is so corrupt that they protect against their own people. Remember all these fake kingdoms in Arabia, all fake. Abu Dhabi, Dubai, these are all fake kingdoms created by white people, by the British after World War I. He said, you want to be a king? You'll be a king. You'll be a kingdom. You'll be. These are all fake kings. It's all fake. So they do what they're told to do. So the only reason why they're allowed now to leave, because they're told now you can drop the dollar, go to China, because that's what you want. That's what we want you to do. Okay? Because America threatens everybody. Anybody who really was going to threaten the dollar, they'd be blown up. They'd blow fucking Saudi Arabia. They came in, overthrew Saudi Arabia, and put a puppet in yesterday. So you're not doing nothing. You're going to give it a dollar? That goofy fake king that was put in there, they've been overthrown. Put out somewhere in the goddamn desert to suck his own ass. Go enjoy it.
As UAE has already joined BRICS, and BRICS is, of
exactly,
course,
UAE, all these fake,
Africa,
all these fake kings.
Egypt is involved, and countless other countries around the world are involved. So when Marco Rubio talks about Brazil, well, Brazil is part of that Chinese system already, my friends. Has been for quite some time. Now, we have those outliers that are still benefiting the system without knowing it sometimes, or perhaps it's all theater. I don't know. But Nicolas Maduro, who, of course, was saying that he didn't want to use the US dollar anymore and wanted to trade in foreign currencies and in Chinese yuans and rubles and all these kinds of things. And then we know what happened to him. as we knew what happened to Gaddafi in Libya and what happened to Saddam Hussein. But this is part of the literal shift. China instructs banks to reduce U.S. Treasury holdings. Another big story where we are seeing it on full display. That story is happening. China gold reserves surpassed 74 million ounces, worth over $367 billion. Incredible. We have Russia's gold reserves surpassing $400 billion for the first time in history. Absolutely incredible. Meanwhile, before we get to the rest of this, I should mention, and you can find it.
Hold on, Joe. How long are we talking about? Oh, enough of this guy. Don't we let this guy run too long? Okay, enough of his ass. God damn. The hours of this dude. Shit. All right. So, I want you to do this, Joby. I want you to go to, can you hear me, Joby? You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. Sheesh, dude. Hours of this dude. Go, I want you to go to TikTok. I want you to say, wars in the streets of Mexico. We're going to take so much of these racist people, Joe. We should, this is no good. Fade white dude.
Mexique, après la mort du chef du cartel.
So this is happening with that white dude Joey just showed in his neighborhood. This is Portable Walter. I mean, you know, look at all these old racist ass people just talking about. You know, and they love to talk crazy about black people, boy, too. Go ahead, Joe, go ahead, play it. Better keep his ass in the house. So right now you got an open war in Mexico. So this is America really going in to destabilize the country until Mexico to get back in line, or else. What you say, Joby? Go ahead.
I done talked to our Mexico cousins, and baby, they gave me a lot of teas and a lot of kikis, and we done got updated on a lot of background knowledge. So let's go ahead and get into it. And I wanted to chit chat with y'all about it real quick because I only had surface level information because it was still going on yesterday. Okay, remember this is a civil war that's happening right now. Few things to know. First of all, hey, I'm your host, Rogan Goddess from the Vibe News Network, here to bring you the geopolitics and the kikis from overseas. And this ain't nothing to kiki about, okay? This is real deal Holyfield, and there's people terrified for their life. First and foremost, I would like to also say, my thoughts and prayers goes out to all the innocent Mexican civilians that were caught in friendly fire, because it wasn't nothing friendly about that goddamn fire. It was definitely set up, and it was meant to happen the way it happened. It was meant to happen. It was definitely a plotted attack, and it was meant to happen the way that it was supposed to happen, okay? In my strong opinion, I genuinely feel like the targeted attack against the leader El Muncho, a part of the CJNG cartel sector, was indeed intentional. Now, Rolling Stone tried to tell us back in April of 2024 that the United States and Israel, baby, they were funding the cartels. In particular, this extension of the cartels.
And it always the two evil empire motherfuckers. And the funny thing about you, group of Americans, the cats with the hats are going to really get rid of you too. They always had the United States and it's not real, but they plan, as Joe just showed, they plan to get rid of your ass too once they use you up. Okay? Cats with the hats are going to bring down America as well. That's the whole scam. Go ahead, Joe.
G faction of the cartels, okay? Now, what is important for you to know is there's the Mexican military and the police and the army versus the cartels, narcos, okay? So we're gonna call them the narcos, okay? The United States and Israel are arming the narcos. Girl, when you see the technology they got, there's no other way they could have gotten this technology if not from both America and Israel. Because
exactly, you always know when you got these criminals, these terrorists. That with the narcos are terrorists, narco terrorists, right? All these, they all got this advanced weaponry, and ain't nobody got no factory to make shit. Everybody's running about all these advanced weapons. How are they getting them? Who's selling them to them? You already know. Go ahead, Joe.
I found out that the weaponry and the armory and artillery that the narcos was using yesterday and a couple days before were manufactured by none other than Elbit Systems and several other American-made factions or factories, right? So what ended up taking place, y'all, was they ordered the hit on El Mancho. Now, the United States claimed that they worked in coordination with the president, Claudia, in order to make the hit happen, which she then later confirmed she did work with Donald Trump because they provided her with valuable information because they basically want him gone, okay? That's not for me to decide here who, how, and why. We're still trying to figure out a lot of education or background information regarding the CJNG cartels. However, what we do know is that she worked with Donald Trump in order to order this hit, okay? That's what she has said, and Donald Trump has said, that they both worked together. Donald Trump provided information. But what he neglected to provide is that he provided weaponry and has been doing so for well over a decade to this particular cartel. So in retaliation, the CJNG decided to start destroying 3 major cities inside of Mexico, one of them being Guadalajara, which is where the majority of us was able to start hearing information about it coming out, because we didn't know that prior to that, other cities that go by the name of Jalisco, which is exactly where it all started at, the assassination started at, in Puerto Vallarta, which I myself have vacationed at before, also was being destroyed by the cartels. 2 airports was taken over, and that got me questioning things. I'm like, okay, they mad, they big mad, I get that, okay, I get that. Flights were canceled and the public movement was slowed down dramatically. In addition to that, they were urging everyone to shelter and stay in place and for the tourists to get the fuck out the way. But of course, the white people was on the roof being nosy, okay? You can always count on them doing that. Airports, highways, and city centers were all shut down. However, what I found to be confusing is they were destroying stuff. And instead of them destroying like governmental buildings and stuff, they was destroying food banks. I'm sorry. ¿Qué pasa? Like, what do you, like, why? What did the people do to you? Why did you do that? That didn't make, to me, that don't make sense. That's what had me saying, something ain't right. This was an inside job. Something ain't right, because they're not necessarily fighting the military. I mean, they are physically, but the moves they're making does not scream people that are angry at the government. You taking out vital food sources that feeds the locals does not scream you're angry about your leader being taken out. No, ma'am. That screams like that is like calculated terrorism. That's what that is. It's supposed to look like y'all upset, but instead your target is the people's resources. It don't make sense. Over 20 of these buildings they destroyed. That was like food banks. It was full of all vital resources for the people across 3 cities. They also destroyed highways. They destroyed several cars. They destroyed several buildings that had absolutely nothing to do with the government. That sounds like organized terrorism, no? Then I took a look at their equipment and I said, oh shit. This is organized terrorism. This is a literal takeover. It sounds like 20 welfare banks in Jalisco alone were destroyed. Not the U.S. Embassy, not governmental buildings, but the food banks, the welfare banks. So what's the motive here? Like, what's the message you trying to send? I'm just walking through the thought process. You know what I'm saying? I'm not criticizing what you doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to help me understand. Because I feel like you have a message you trying to get across, but the dot's not connecting here. It's not making sense, other than the fact that obviously is you and the devil walking side by side. But that's neither here nor there. Listen, no disrespect. But like, what did the people do to you? You know what I'm saying? Like, they needed that. Okay, so I took the liberty of looking up, because I just wanted to make sure for certain what are the welfare banks inside of Mexico, right? So I looked it up myself and I said, what are the welfare banks in Mexico for? The purpose of the banks were created to bypass financial intermediaries, ensuring direct distribution of funds to the neediest of citizens. So it's not a food bank, but it is for the social welfare and the benefit of the citizens. So the economical support of the citizens who need it the most, including seniors and people with disabilities. The services provided primarily used for depositing and withdrawing funds from the government programs like Beca Benito Juarez, student scholarships, and universal senior pensions. With over 3,100 branches across 32 states in Mexico, it is designed to reach rural and marginalized populations with little access to traditional banking. So people who don't have the means to get traditional banking systems, but also are in need of, say, your scholarship refund, or you just need money to feed your kids, or you have a disability and you're not able to work. Basically, social services, what we have over here is we have cash assistance. These banks are basically the Mexican version of cash assistance provided by the state. Why would you go and attack these banks that are providing social welfare services to the citizens that are not even holding any bonds or anything like that? What sense does that make? And immediately the light bulb turned on, and I said, "That fucking America, the goddamn Donald Trump. You just think that everybody's shit is your ATM. Why would you do some shit like this? This got America written all the fuck over it. Why would you do that? Money. Not only that, you made this whole fucking play, this whole show." And it's given, and I could be wrong, but my spidey senses is tingling, bitch. And when my spidey senses get to tingling, I go with it because it's always right. That was a lick back because of the Department of Homeland Security and the cartels beefing, right? So I'm not sure what beef you got with the Mexican government or what y'all was doing together, if y'all working together to take out certain sectors of the cartels, because Claudia Baum this morning basically said like she's not looking to get physical or take out all the cartel or the narcos because it caused so many deaths.
Pause it. Understand, guys, the elite use drugs as a laundering way to also liquefy their money. You're never going to get rid of drugs, and you're never going to get rid of child and human trafficking. That's how they make money. And that's a lot of, you guys don't know, a lot of these banks are funded. Without child trafficking and human trafficking and drug running, these banks would collapse. Because that brings the liquidation of money into these banks. And so when you think of El Chapo or this other new guy, hey, I've been told you, the CIA runs all drugs on the planet. On the planet. So when you think, so obviously it's something that this drug guy got out of line and they sent their hit and they took his ass out. Because when you don't do what you're told to do, they're coming to see you. So, they think, oh, the cartels. So these fake politicians in America talking about, they have all this fake plausible deniability. Oh, the cartels in Mexico are so bad. We must go down and control the drugs are coming to America. Understand, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the Warburgs, all these people control the drug trade through the CIA. They control child trafficking, human trafficking through the CIA and the Mossad, Israel and America, through the intelligence agency. And they'll have you we're fighting the cartels, as Joe would like to use the word, always a Hegelian dialectic. They control all drugs on the planet. They have you think, oh, it's the cartels running the drugs. And they've already told you in certain movies, it's the CIA. They've already told you. If you're a moron thinking that they don't control all these fucking cartels in Mexico, like the yellow said, where they get all these advanced weapons at? I ask these people, all these terrorists in Africa, Mexico, everywhere they want to steal or do shit, they always got advanced weapons. Ain't nobody got no factory. Ain't nobody got no, where they getting all this? selling the shit to them. How they getting it? Go ahead, Joby.
Okay.
Okay.
And the military soldiers and the police officers. And that it would only cause more harm to the people. It seemed like it was a calculated incident and it was intended to cause harm and it needed to look as real as possible. The thing that smells the fishiest about this is the fact that they attacked the welfare banks when there were actual banks with real cold hard bonds and like things inside of it that was of more value than those actual social welfare banks. Usually in social welfare banks, they only have a specific amount, and that specific amount that they have on them is specifically strategically to go to certain people, and that's it. Not even like access. They usually don't have access of anything. They have just enough, and if not that, less than what they need. So that got America and Israel written all over it, and then screaming inside jobs. Stay tuned, because I'm sniffing around, and there's more to go.
Mexico just experienced one of its most violent chapters in its recent history in its own war against drugs. We saw banks being burned down, stores being burned down, the cartels seizing vehicles and lighting them on fire to create blockades to cut off access to highways and other roads. It all started on Sunday when the Mexican military surrounded and raided Tepalpa, where the leader of the Jalisco cartel was captured and killed. He has set up his giant cartel all over the world with alliances from Europe to Asia to Africa to cocaine, meth, and other drugs globally. He also ended up cementing his cartel as the most brutal in a landscape of brutality here in Mexico. The Mexican government in its statement said, with U.S. intelligence, we were able to capture and kill El Mencho. And that ignited an entire wave of violence where Jalisco cartel had a presence. It flexed its muscles, which really shows how much money and how many foot soldiers it has. In Jalisco state alone, authorities said about 20 branches of the state banks had been set on fire. Violence then spread from coast to coast. It not only targeted local Mexicans, but also famed beach resort towns, including Puerto Vallarta.
That's where Joe's little white boy's at. He's in Puerto Vallarta. Why he ain't reporting on that? Because he knows he better keep his white mouth shut. That's why. That's why. That's where he lives at. The little white boy in Mexico. The Canadian little white boy lives there. He knows he better keep his motherfucking mouth shut.
He has talked about it. It is on his channel. He has talked about it.
I bet he ain't there in Puerto Vallarta talking about him. Because they're going to come and see his ass. I bet he ain't Puerto Vallarta talking about it. I bet he ain't got his ass back in his home country, Canada, some fucking where, or United States. Because you white people, you ain't safe in Mexico, baby. Not right now. They gonna take it. They gonna come because they shoot every white person walking around getting a bullet in their head. Okay? It's in the message. You American, you're getting a bullet. Got your name on it. They send a message. But go ahead, Joe.
The ability for the Jalisco cartel to attack all at the same time, completely stretching security forces thin. We've never seen that before. The killing of El Mencho is definitely a huge success for the Mexican government. But even though the violence seems to have died down,
he over here talking. Joe got his ass talking about the Chinese. The Chinese ain't outside the door. It's El Chapo and them folks outside the door. God damn it! It ain't the Chinese.
Two fronts against the country's two most dangerous cartels. For about a year and a half, they've had this front to the west against the Sinaloa cartel, which has resulted in a very, very bloody battlefield. And then on Sunday, they decided to open up another front in Jalisco state. Now the question is, can the Mexican military take this on? Because
they show you how powerful they're inside of Mexico, that the military and the police can't do shit. They run around shooting people in the head, run around killing people, abducting people, throwing people in the damn ocean with bullet wounds. Like, yeah, what government? What military? What goddamn police. Yeah, you'll get this work. Go ahead, Joby. Right now?
Zibazaba, I know it's crazy. Keith has already termed my white boy. Now I guess I have a white boy. I never,
I ain't going. I said that was Joby. I said that was Joby's white boy. I said Joby keeps showing this white boy.
I have a white boy. I don't love his videos. It's just you. He's a hater. You can't just.
I Joby was like, I know. We know Joby likes his videos. He keeps showing it. That good. She ain't heard though his subtle racism. This subtle racist ass bastard. His subtle racism. He slides shit he tries to do. They try to be, when they rate, they try to be too cute times half. This subtle no good bastard. Go ahead, Joby. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, shout out to everyone with us on the chat. Shout out to Jibadzaba, Ricky Snow, Karibu Sana. How is my arm? I'm trying to actually return my bandage. Thank you for asking. I had removed it. I'm trying to return my bandage because I have to allow the arm to breathe. But the swelling is kind of over. At least I can raise it. I can do this. It's improving. Yeah, thank you for asking, Ricky. But I also see Jibadzaba.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, trading one dead master for another. Nothing to gloat over. I also see 10 Speed says,
exactly.
I have no problem with having a gangster in the White House. Trump is cutting these people's agenda to install his group's agenda, white on white supremacy fight. Of course, that is what he's doing. Saving white. Let's save the white people again, not saving America. Speed says those people would not do it without the United States. We got too many fools in the country for them to lose. Also see Wake Up, Karibu Sana, 10 Speed also adding this is just the beginning of the fall of the white supremacists all over the world. Nobody financial system is going to work when the US fall. Everybody else is going to fall. I guess.
I know, but that's what they're trying. The cats with their hats are trying to stop that. Because they're trying to move everything to bricks, so when America does fall, they have a system that's still going to stand that they own and control. They'll say, "Oh, it's the Chinese." They the Chinese. It's the cats with the motherfucking hats. So when it does fall, they'll just have everything already up. Everybody's setting up a parallel system now. That's why they're setting up the brick system now. They have a parallel system. So when America does fall, they'll just take America down and Europe. Go ahead, Jimmy.
I also see Jiba says Mexico was funding Cuba. Now that is stopped with this cartel action. And of course, remember also they are in Cuba as well. We talked about that last week or Monday. I think Monday. I also see, I have not had ugali in a minute, Jiba Jab. I can't cook ugali with my fucked up arm right now. I've missed ugali, I'm not going to lie. I also see we have Abdallah Karibu says always the mommy performance with this bad.
Look, let me say something. That's how you know Joby's ugali. Her corn is real. It's not GMO because Joby would be fat if she ate the fucking starchy ass. If she made the corn ugali in America, her ass would have been fat. But she's got real corn.
Yeah, that's why I'm not fat and I'm not getting
but she can eat Kenyan KFC without getting fat. But they're no good at it.
I love weight, but I'll not be fat. I add weight correctly, not being fat. Yes, also says drugs and trafficking 100%. Says say this is not Trump. This is the short hats with like Biden. The short hats.
They control Trump too. They think is in there with Netanyahu always in Trump's ass. Who do you think? They're all controlled by the short hats. The cats with the hats control all of them. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, those are all the comments. I think we go to the Epstein.
Let's go to Epstein. That's fine. I couldn't see the video. I'm done. Go to Joe and go to TikTok and say, there's a new, and he brings back the stuff about Nebraska, right? It always clicks in. Goes back to Nebraska and that massive damn child trafficking they had back in the 80s and early 90s with Papa Bush. He had boys down in Nebraska and them having sex with the black boys, fucking them and throwing them out of the helicopters. You know, he have sex with them and kill their ass. Just crazy shit. So go to TikTok, Joe, and say a new accusations. Say person has new accusations. Person has new accusations. I can't remember the guys. They're improper. Say another boy has accusations about the Epstein file. I can't remember his name. It's a new dude. He said he was a kid growing up in Chicago, and how they first got, he was up on the roof with his friend. They were up there sunbathing at 11 years old, and the boy and they said Lex Wexner. You know, remember Lex Wexner is in Epstein file when his lawyer said, we're gonna show him. His lawyer said, "Hey, you say another word and I'll kill your ass." He knows he's on a hot mott. He said, "You keep your mouth shut." He said another word, I'll kill your ass. So he said they were on the roof. They were looking at his butt cheeks, and so they took him down. They put some oil on his butt cheeks. Shit, right? Like that. He's 11 years old, and so they allowed him to fuck him up. So, so allowed him to have sex with some older woman. So they would eventually groom them to have sex with the men, like Trump and all these other men would come in, having sex with them. Let's see what you pull up, Jovi. I'm gonna see if I can send you something.
Let me play this.
Joining us now
like 19 hours ago, a day ago. So let's.
Is the ranking Democrat on the Oversight Committee, Congressman Robert Garcia, who is leading the charge on their own Epstein investigation. He's going to be boycotting tonight's State of the Union address.
Go past that. Whatever they got Democrat, Republican, no, it's all fake. They're all controlled. Go get it.
He forces me and Gabriel to do it. But because we can't, we're not strong enough to cut the baby's head off. He has us to hold a knife, and he puts his hand at the top of our hand, and he helps us to cut the baby's head off. Because he's learning, he's teaching me and Gabriel, so when we're older, to do it to our own children and do this kind of stuff to our own children.
Where is it this that happens?
The church, the kitchen in our church.
The kitchen in the church.
Yes, remember, now this is old. Remember this I showed this about almost 10 years ago. This the British. Remember, there's a girl and a boy who their daddy was fucking, and they told him that the daddy was eating. This is 10 years ago, right? They said this is England. They told him that the dad was eating. He said, "My dad eats the babies." It was a joke. Everybody was using that. They said, my dad and them eat the babies. They said, what do they do? What's what he says in this interview? He said, my dad and them, they eat the babies. They bust them in their heads and they eat the babies. They eat them. So remember, it was him and his sister. Somehow they would go through the rituals. They forget. They wouldn't believe it. He told them they were fucking them. They eat my dad eats the babies. They eat the babies. And now we know this ain't all a joke. I've showed this 10 years ago. You guys remember this 10 years ago with the two British kids, and the mom didn't know what the hell was going on. They said, the mom never knew what the hell was going on with the kids. And the kids always traumatized, the boy and the girl, because the mom didn't know that they were going to look at them eat babies, try to get them to eat some of the baby parts. My dad just took the limb off the baby and ate the baby. That's how they found out. This is him talking to the psychologist, because they was always having problems in school because they were looking at all this heinous shit. But go ahead, Joey.
String. Tell me about this string.
It's just like, it's not just like just a thin normal string. It's a bit thick, it's like maybe that thick.
Okay.
And they tie around,
okay,
like in a circle.
Right.
Hang it up on
Where do they tie to a baby?
So it's like on legs, so they put the legs together, tie it on,
yeah,
and so it's like one string around and then one string attached, yeah, and it's hanging upside down. They get the knife, but they don't just cut it off absolutely. It's still on. So it's like the head off, but it's still hanging on.
So okay.
Yes, and then there's a big white bowl on, yeah, the floor, and then the blood drips in, and then we pour it in a big silver goblet.
Okay, so where's this white bowl? Where did they get the white bowl from?
They bought the big white bubble.
From where?
From there's any shop anywhere.
And where did they get the bubble from this time?
And they ate the baby.
Kentucky, Mr. Massey, for 5 minutes.
Andrew Mountbatten Windsor was arrested today. I know you don't know who that is because I don't know who that is. So I'm going to say the name that we all know. Prince Andrew. Prince Andrew was arrested today. And they thought they was slick.
That was last week.
Listen, we don't have a lot of time. Jeffrey Epstein, I was on an island, yeah? I've got the list. That's based on my drink sales. I was selling drinks, okay? I was selling pina coladas. That's what I specialize in selling. And I'd go up to them and say, do you want a pina colada, right? Very popular for that area. Those islands. But they'll say, no, do you have some virgin?
Maybe you can check the video on your end, Kit, see if you can find it and send it to me.
Yeah, give me a second. Yeah, give me a second.
Yes,
give me a second, Joe.
Aids videos are on our end too. I've realized that.
Yeah. All right, I'll come back with virgin colada. And they said, no, do you have some virgins? I said, I've got some virgin drinks. What, you want mojito? What do you want? Virgin mojito? What do you want? I've got it all. But people get angry when I'd come back with drinks, yeah? And I say, but we told you we didn't want pina colada. We wanted virgin. I said, that's what I've got, yeah? So I would write down the names of all the people I sold to, because sometimes we didn't pay in cash, we sold on credit. So I've got a list of all these people, yeah? Unfortunately for me, it's a list of who's who, and now they're after me. So listen, I put the list on the look at my page. You can see the list of all the people. I told you the drinks. I told you everything. Look at it before they take it down. And who knows if you're ever going to hear from.
See, this is what's strange, because these files, to be clear, seem to show it's girl.
I know what I'm about to say to you, and I know that you're going to go, what? He goes, there's a lot of things people don't tell you about parenting, especially dads. A lot of people keep dads in the dark.
It has been confirmed that Donald Trump illegally hid files that allege he raped a child. This very well could be the largest presidential scandal of American history, and no one is talking about it. So make sure to watch, share, and
read. They got him raping children because he had. Remember, people forget before they in the Epstein files that they got case against Donald Trump in the early 90s, having settlements settled for $2 million and $3 million for fucking this one boy in the ass, and then also sucking his other kid's dick. So that's known. And I'm sure. So go ahead, Joe. Go ahead.
Post this video so everybody knows what we're about to dive into. So here's everything that you need to know. Let's start from the top. First and foremost, NPR released this bombshell article earlier today stating that they've done an investigation into the Epstein files, and what they've concluded is that the Justice Department has withheld some Epstein files related to allegations that President Trump sexually abused a minor, per their investigation findings. They then go on to say what was withheld were more than 50 pages of FBI interviews, as well as notes from conversations with a woman who accused Donald Trump of sexual abuse decades ago when she was a minor. But that's not all, because after NPR published their article, Democrats from the Oversight Committee in the House of Representatives, you know, the elected officials that have access to the unredacted Epstein files, said that they can confirm that the DOJ appears to have illegally withheld FBI interviews with a survivor who accused President Trump of sexual abuse. That's all for now, but seriously, like I said at the beginning of the video, we can't let the story die. This message needs to be amplified. The president illegally hid files alleging that he raped a child.
Video released Thursday of a 5-hour deposition of retail magnate Les Wexner shows the billionaire repeatedly insisting he knew nothing about Jeffrey Epstein's crimes, adding that law enforcement had never spoken with him.
Did you at any time ever consider him to be a close friend?
No. As I look back at it, I was conned by the world Olympic all-time con artists.
They're all con. They're all con, which is a lie. Now we're gonna find out. I'm gonna jump and keep him here. Next Wexner is gonna be one of the guys. I'm gonna send you over to be about another young man. Is talking about him playing in his booty hole as an 11-year-old child. This motherfucker right here. You're not a con man. It's all you're a con. Remember, so the lawyer's gonna reach over and tell him, "Hey, you shut the fuck up. You better not say too much. Or I'm gonna kill you." Remember, they all got handlers. They all got cats. Those cats with the handlers, right? Even though he's a cat himself. So he's gonna tell him, "Hey, you better shut your mouth," right? But go ahead, Joby.
I read in the news all the people he knew, royalty, kings, princes, and all that. An incredible con artist.
Has the FBI or DOJ ever directly contacted you or spoken to you about?
Not to my knowledge.
Never.
Never.
Did you speak to any law enforcement agency of any kind regarding Jeffrey Epstein's investigation in New York in 2019?
Never. Didn't. No, I don't remember ever talking to any law enforcement agency.
At one point, his lawyer, Michael Levy, whispered some advice.
First time when we ever done it for Papa, the first time when we really done it, we had feared so much.
When you did what?
When you killed the baby, first time.
You killed the baby.
That's no kidding. That's the same little boy, Joby. Shut up. We killed the baby. Then my dad, we ate the baby. We ate the babies. You killed the baby? Yeah. My dad had me and my sister. We killed the baby and we ate the baby. Go ahead, Joe. I got
viral one.
You yourself?
With Papa. Papa holding my hand.
How you find your history on
He told
TikTok?
me to cut the baby's head off. And he forced me to. I couldn't.
He held your hand?
He held my hand. Yes.
Like what? Show me.
So this is my hand on the nut. He put his big hand on and he pushed my hand and then cut off the head. Like that. And then when we got older, we got more used to it. But then we understood that when my mom found out about it, she told me that it's wrong to do this kind of stuff. But then me and Gabriel had still been used to it, but then we had understood that it's wrong.
And so, what your decision is?
And our decision, we had still a lot of fear in our head. But then when we read the book Dune, it said that fear is the mind killer. So when we heard that, we thought that it was true. It was not really true. But then after, there was a man called Abraham who came to help us. He said that it is true, that fear is the mind killer. And then he said we had to face our fear. And then after we faced our fear,
Look in the camera is here.
and then after.
Camera is here.
And then after we faced our fear.
So what you decided?
And we decided that we should stop. But then we said,
Come, Gabriel, come closer.
New NPR investigation reveals the Justice Department withheld portions of the Jeffrey Epstein files that contain allegations involving President Trump, including material tied to claims that Mr. Trump sexually abused a minor and that some pages mentioning him were removed from the public record. Democrats on the House Oversight Committee called that out today, saying the DOJ's withholding of information could amount to a crime. For more on that and the surrounding fallout, we're joined now by Julie K. Brown, investigative reporter for the Miami Herald, whose reporting helped expose much of the Epstein network. Julie, welcome back to the program. It's great to have you.
Thank you.
I want to start with this NPR reporting that the Justice Department withheld some Epstein files related to allegations that President Trump sexually abused a minor, which we should say the White House denies. What stands out to you about it?
Well, I think what stands out is that we don't have the reports, even though we know they exist. This stems from an interview that they conducted that came out of a tip to the FBI about this woman who has said that when she was 13, that she was sexually assaulted by Donald Trump. Now, one of her interviews is contained in the Epstein files, although it is heavily redacted, so it's hard to know exactly what she told the FBI. But as a result of that, we were able to see some of the report numbers and the bait stamps on it. And an independent journalist, actually named Roger Sullenberger, was the person that found out that it compared that number to the documents that the Southern District of New York prosecutors gave to Ghislaine Maxwell's lawyers as part of her criminal case.
You broke this story 8 years ago with your investigative reporting. With the benefit of time and hindsight, what do you see more clearly now about how power insulated Jeffrey Epstein, and how much of that protective structure still exists?
Well, I think it shows that it absolutely does exist. I mean, the fact that we aren't getting the full picture, that these files are so heavily redacted, that there are names of men in these files that have been redacted, yet some of these victims.
I'm trying to find that video for, also on my end on TikTok.
I know. I'm looking. Damn, what's the way to say it? Damn, I got so much. Damn, trying to see how can I word it. Okay, I can say. Let me send this one to you real quick.
I'm not seeing.
Let's see, this is the right one. Hold on. I'm getting close. Let me send this one. Let me send this one. Hold on. No, that's not it. This one may be out.
Nope, can't see.
Want to come catch me on Epstein's Island?
What?
Epstein's Island?
What's that?
You hear about Epstein's Island? No? You don't want to catch me there?
Check this out. Breaking news. So we have Ian Royal, who lived on the Zorro Ranch his teen years as his dad worked for Epstein before quitting amid the scandal. He's stepping forward and he's talking about his time on Epstein Ranch, folks. You got to check this out. And here we have the article, and he's saying that they'll probably never find the bodies, folks.
The bodies. Yeah, he's talking about on the ranch. He's talking about the ranch out in New Mexico. I told you where they were taking people out there and doing all kind of shit with them on that ranch out in New Mexico. People like to talk about the Miami home or way up in New York. And forget about the ranch out there in New Mexico, the big ass mansion he has out in New Mexico when they were doing all kind of experiments on black people, and he had that big ass bat to dissolve your body in this acid. Right? They're dissolving bodies out there.
Please follow, like, and share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. So, Ian Royal, who is now 28, lived in a house away from the main mansion at the New Mexico estate with his father, who had worked as Epstein's ranch hand for more than a decade. Although he says they never witnessed any criminal activity, claiming some staff were kept in the dark, he feels the size and layout of the estate would make it an easy place to cover up a murder. Royal recalls a cold interaction with the PDF, who later banned him from bringing friends on the ranch when he was hiding out at the property as he faced more scrutiny following his 2008 plea deal. Now he's talking about Epstein here. Now he mentions here how his father eventually quit, overwhelmed by the workload, and he says they were left sickened when they learned about the truth about these crimes. Now, talking about the chilling claim of victims possibly being buried, Royal said, I don't know if people have actually looked at this ranch to really see the size of it. Now, folks, we were out there. It's large. It's huge. It's a lot of acreage with roads running through it. Yes, folks, we pulled it up on Google. If you haven't seen those videos, go back and check them out. There's a lot of information, folks. We have covered a lot of information. I've been around on four-wheelers and taken my time driving around and seeing its vastness. The thing is huge. He could just, locally speaking, if he really wanted to bury someone, he had the space and the ability. He could have done it. No problem. And yeah, I totally agree. And Royal says he feels the investigation may never know the truth about the rumor, as it's impossible to dig up the entire property. Quote, it is crazy they've never searched the place. The fact that they didn't do anything soon enough is a problem. Now, here's some more very interesting information. A 2009 tip from a retired officer featured in the Epstein files warned that a suspicious barn on the property with a chimney might also conceal an incinerator used to destroy evidence. Concerns reportedly raised to the FBI around the time of Epstein's arrest. Although Royal and his father are unaware of the barn, he believes Epstein, his madam, Ghislaine Maxwell, and other co-conspirators could have destroyed evidence. What the shit? Various high-profile individuals were reported to have visited the ranch when Epstein owned it, including Andrew of Windsor. No, an ex-housekeeper at the property, Deidre Stratton, previously said that she served him and a mystery woman at the ranch. She said she told the podcast Epstein Devil in the Darkness that the royal was kept company by the woman who asked for herbal tea to make the prince horny.
What?
Oh, Lord. Oof.
I know.
Royal also recalled his meeting with Epstein on the property, who questioned who he was after stumbling across him and a friend on the grounds. He said, I had my friend Chris with me on the ranch behind the house where my father and I lived in. So, yeah, folks, he lived on the property. This is wild information. He recalls a day or so after the interaction with Epstein, his dad told the billionaire had banned him from bringing friends onto the property. Interesting.
I can't find
My
it. Shit, I don't know which one it is.
Only when he's here, though. I don't really care. It's not a big deal for you to bring your friend.
The good thing with TikTok, when you see a video, just save it, like it. That's the
I
only
should.
way you can.
I know. I should. You're right. You're right. That's what I should have did, Joe. But go. I sent you a couple of videos.
I'll send it. I'll
Maybe.
send it.
Maybe this is it. Hold on.
But when he's here, just do it because obviously I want to keep my job. He described Epstein as an intelligent and secretive, with rumors swirling locally for years about who even owned Zorro Ranch. Royal said it was around 2012 when they moved off the ranch after his dad quit amid work pressure, the work situation, and Epstein facing further scrutiny. Yeah, folks, as I mentioned, the corruption, the cover-up on this property, for as long as it's been there, since he owned it, since what, 1993? He died in 2019. Folks, the cover-up goes deep, goes far, goes wide here in New Mexico. And this New Mexico Truth Commission, Jesus, I hope they're prepared for all the roadblocks that they're going to run into.
I can't find it.
Everybody's watching this, all the way up from the White House, all the way down.
And then,
FBI,
and then,
everybody.
And then I want to also talk about Joby. Put that. I also want to talk about how you guys already heard this, I'm sure, at the British equivalent of the Academy Awards, the BAFTA Awards they had. You had some white person called Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo, a nigga, right? But suppose he's got Tourette's. That's the only word he knows when he's got this disease called Tourette's. He can't say any other word but call them a nigga, right? And so since everybody's saying, I want you to put up the compilation videos on TikTok, right? See, they used to call. See, sadly, and I told you, and this not, and this ain't no mark on black people around the world, but most black people are cowards. They get treated crazy and they just accept it. So even the British admit, they say, well, they decided to keep that in there instead of editing it out when they've been called niggas. They didn't know that black America was gonna give them smoke because British black people, they said, don't do nothing. They're just, as the British say, white people just play in your face and you don't do nothing about it. Because most black people on the planet, sadly, haven't made it to cowards. And so they didn't expect no backlash, but they didn't know, those are black Americans up there you calling niggas. And we're not gonna accept it. And usually black people and British, they'll accept the racism. They'll shut the fuck up and they go, well, but black Americans, then you better watch your goddamn mouth. So they've been getting smoke on the internet that they didn't expect. That's why they kept it in there. Man, you edit a video and you keep the nigga, somebody calling you a nigga in there. Because they used to British black people being called niggas and it's okay to say shit in your face. So Joe, get out of there, Joe. I want you to go to TikTok. Where you at right now? Say black Americans called nigga at the, let's say Michael B. Jordan, let's say Michael B. Jordan Centers gets called nigger at British awards. Him and Devin, it's easy, just say Michael B. Jordan. Say Michael B. Jordan gets called nigger at British award show. So they kept it on purpose because they know British blacks don't say shit. They forgot that's our people up there. And you don't get this work. So you got the British, they didn't expect, they ain't messing with black Americans. They thought they was gonna be able just to keep nigga in there and it'd be all right. And they just play in our face. And it's caused a nigga think it's a joke. Because remember, they edited the video and kept the shit in there. They could have took it out, but they chose to keep that disrespectful racist shit in there. That's who these people are. But go ahead, Joe. We just play one of the videos.
Funny thing, TikTok is not bringing anything like that. It's just taking me back to the Epstein.
Say Michael B. Jordan. Say white guy says the N-word. Say N-word. Say white guy says N-word at the BAFTA Awards. BAFTA.
At the
BAFTA. BAFTA. The BAFTA Awards. Black guys get called N-word at the BAFTA Awards. I know I got BAFTA. BAFTA. That's what they call a Academy Awards.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Delroy and I are delighted to be presenting the first BAFTA of the night for a vital part
present the award.
We're here to celebrate. Good evening.
They had him in class. Delroy Lindo guy, he left. So he left. He didn't even say what. He left the awards. Right? But see, remember this is edited. They kept that in there. They play in your fucking face. It's like British, because sadly most black people around the world, you're not built like us. You're not built like us. You allow people to disrespect you and play in your face and don't do nothing about it. It's okay, white people say stuff doesn't talk to us crazy. It's okay. But black Americans say, what? Look at this. What is this shit here? And so now, the BAFTA Award's been getting this work. They all did cop and please, oh, we're sorry, we didn't know. Fuck you mean you didn't know? They try to get to a white boy. He has a disease. He has Tourette's. Oh, the only words he knows how to say, crazy as nigga. Tell me about his goddamn disease. Go ahead and play it, Joby.
Presenting the first BAFTA of the night for a vital part of movie making.
We're here to celebrate the artists who expand what's possible on screen.
You may have heard some strong and offensive language tonight. If you've seen the film, I swear you will know that film is about the experience of a person with Tourette syndrome. Tourette syndrome is a disability, and the tics you've heard tonight are involuntary.
Tourette syndrome. Why is the only word he said is nigga? Because people been saying nigga around him. How's that the only word he know what to say? If he never heard the word, he wouldn't be saying it, whether he got disease or not. They've been calling people nigga around him all the time. So he says, nigga, 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 nigga. Hey, little white boy, would you like some pizza? Nigga, 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 nigga. He's got Tourette's. Why is the only word he knows is to say nigga? Nigga, 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 nigga. So Joe, just scroll down. Let's see. I know they got some response videos. Go scroll down.
Joe and I are delighted to be presenting the first BAFTA of the night for a vital part of movie making. We're here to celebrate.
So that happened last night during the broadcast of the BAFTA Awards from England. And the BAFTA Awards are comparable to, I would say, the Golden Globe. Some would say the Oscars. It is the British Academy of Film and Television Arts Award. And while Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo were presenting the first award of the night, that comment came from the audience. Now, that comment came from John Davidson, who suffers from Tourette's syndrome. And while I do know a lot about Tourette's syndrome in experience, because I grew up with and had Mahmoud Abdul Rauf, who went to Gulfport High, star basketball player that would go on to play for various NBA teams like the Denver Nuggets, of course LSU when he was in college. He has been at my table with my family, and he has never called women there bitch or nigga or anything else. But I digress, because still I'm not speaking on John Davidson. My issue is with the BBC, because the BBC chose to
keep that in there.
That broadcast without editing that part out, and they had the ability to do that, because this was not.
I know they did that. They did that, dude, because they play in the black, like Joe Mosquito and them up there. They're weak and feckless. They play in their fucking face, and so they thought they was gonna go over and realize, hey, these are black Americans. They're the British. We don't give a fuck about these British niggas. They don't speak up for themselves. So what? That's their ass. These are two black Americans up there, and say, oh, time to get this work. Time to get this work. So now they over there copping pleas. Oh, we're gonna take it out now. We didn't know what we did. What do you mean you know what you did? You know you kept that shit in there, because because British black people are used to getting fucked off. And most black people around the world, and especially in the Caribbean, with these Caribbean niggas, these Jamaicans, these goddamn, all these island niggas, they take it right up the ass because they're weak. But shout out to the British. They said, you realize these are black Americans. Black Americans don't let white people play in their face. We damn sure don't. We damn sure don't. As the black race, we are known as the fighters of the race. They'll play in your face, and you won't do shit about it. Go ahead, Joey, play it.
As itself takes place a few hours before the televised.
Go to the next one. This guy's too easy. Go to the next one.
Plenty of time.
People are going to watch I Swear now because of that whole thing at the BAFTAs. It was a publicity stunt, and you can't convince me otherwise. John Davidson yelling the N-word, the BAFTAs keeping it in, him purposely not apologizing for the harm that was done to Michael B. Jordan, Delroy Lindo, and every black person who had to watch that. But now everybody knows about Tourette's and that man's film. That man saw the current political landscape, decided that he wouldn't get canceled for doing something like that, He didn't give himself, and the BAFTAs didn't give him any accommodations where he could like step out and decompress if he felt like he was going to do something. They didn't remove him after the first time he said the slur. They let him say it 2 more times to more Black presenters. So he knew he wasn't going to get canceled enough for it to actually have a negative effect on his career. In fact, the controversy that it created and people saying his name would be enough to boost his film to the top. Like,
Now
yes,
you know,
he's there receiving
now
an
you know if
award.
you said anything about the cats with their hats in there, that shit would have been cut off immediate. Immediate. Go ahead, Joey.
But how many numbers was that film actually pulling before this? He made the calculation a long time ago that he did not need a Black audience to watch his film. There is a scene in that film where like he's painting a wall black with someone and then he like starts smearing the paint all over his face, which is essentially—
Hey, we don't know if we don't know this
this
goofy
film was
movie.
never for—
Screaming the N-word in the award ceremony.
Go next. We don't know this white boy goofy movie. What are you talking about?
Screaming the N-word at an award ceremony isn't ideal, but I fear it's an opportunity that a lot of us are missing by directing our anger at the wrong place.
Presenting the first BAFTA of the night for a vital part.
There's some British to take our anger at the wrong place. Always weak and cowardly. Always weak and cowardly. We directed our anger at the wrong. We shouldn't be directed at the white man who said nigga. We should kiss his ass and call him Jesus. Go ahead, Joe.
Because even if you wanted to argue that when John Davidson's Tourette syndrome led him to shout the N-word at Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo when they were presenting an award was part of some underlying subconscious racism, then we are talking about racism as a systemic and institutional problem that affects people's subconscious. And so if we're looking for clear evidence of institutional racism at the BAFTAs that night, there are a lot worse guilty parties who got into Tourette syndrome.
I told you. That's why I can't stand these British niggas. There's a lot. These always cowardly motherfuckers here. Won't stand up for nothing. That's why you people, I told you, nobody gives a fuck about you people. We told you, that's why I told you, keep our name out your mouth. Nobody gives a fuck about you British niggas. You're weak and fucking feckless. See, if you want to do more racist than that, what's more racist than somebody calling you a nigger? They always want to make excuses for having white cock in their mouth. Always. If we want to say, we don't want to call that racist because it's a rich and blah, blah, blah. Always weak and feckless. That's why they get smacked in the head. Everywhere. Why they get smacked in the head? Why they get smacked in the head? Everywhere. So I'm going to have to I'm going to find the British lady who came to America and said, yeah, as British people, we're known to take shit and get talked to like shit and don't do shit. But now that I moved to America, American blacks don't play it. I knew they were going, that's right. Don't fuck around, you weak, cowardly ass niggas.
Let's see.
Where you going to now, Joe?
What you just said, exactly what you just said.
Oh, okay.
I genuinely love Thailand, yeah. It's a lovely place. But why are the locals so rude and
No, I'm trying to look at the one.
As a black, yeah, keep going there. It'd be a black girl. Yeah, go to one of them. I don't know. Say,
people, you are the most...
Yeah, go ahead. Let's see what she's saying.
Rudest and disrespectful people on the planet, because you always say that black and brown people are the problem, but we didn't do any of these things to you. You did all of these things to us.
European countries that caused the most deaths in Africa. Number 10, Germany, Namibia genocide of 100,000 murder. Number 9.
That's about something else. Yeah, about to kill. Say, British woman living in America speaks on the BAFTAs. Say black. Say black British woman living in America speaks on the BAFTAs. BAFTA. There's a bunch of them that is British American. They used to playing in our faces. Yeah, they go. That's why I want to go down. I think this will go down.
I'm a Brit that lives in Boston. People always say to me, why are you complaining about the weather here in Boston? Isn't England basically the same weather?
I'm sure you're aware already that America is viewed as one of the most patriotic countries in the world. A lot more patriotic than the UK, for example. What I can't get my head around is, are you patriotic for your whole country? Are you patriotic?
Scroll up. Let's see. I don't see her nowhere.
Realized so many of y'all were going to identify yourselves as being the people that I was actually talking about. But let's go ahead and address the obvious. Some of y'all are very offended by my last video. Ain't the first time. And I'm not confused about why. But I said what I said. If what I said doesn't apply to you, then it shouldn't hit you that hard. But if it pricked your nerves, if it made you feel defensive, if you immediately felt the need to come into my comments and argue, then maybe, just maybe, I was talking about you. Now, let me say this clearly. Throwing your status as a so-called FBA or ADOS in my comment section means absolutely nothing to me in the context of this conversation. Except again, maybe I'm talking about you. If you believe that the plantation your ancestors were enslaved on in the United States of America versus the Caribbean or Central or South America somehow gives you special status that exempts you from self-reflection about your behavior when you travel or move abroad.
As a Black woman with Tourette syndrome, I think I have valuable information to add to the discourse about the BAFTAs incident with John Davidson and Michael B. Jordan and Delroy. So I've made videos about this in the past. This comment is from a video that I made 3 years ago that is kind of active again because I talked about coprolalia, which is a tic in Tourette syndrome that causes people to say obscene things, socially inappropriate things, culturally inappropriate things. I've seen a lot of discourse, and I just kind of want to bring some education and shed some light. Similarly, I guess the top 3 things that I've repeatedly been seeing that I'd like to give my input about is, number 1, a lot of people are saying that it seemed like that was the only time that John Davidson ticked, right when it was silent and right when it was perfect for him to say the N-word. That was the only time he ticked. Obviously, I was not there to see.
Again, I think TikTok literally hides videos on our end.
I think they do. If you can't find them out, I'll pull it right up. I don't know what these videos you got me coming from.
Yeah, you can see my screen. Literally, if the lady.
I know. I'm looking. I know.
Yeah, you would have seen that just immediately. But none, unless you find it on your end, then you can share it. But let me cue the video shared with me. Then
Yeah, play the other two. Yeah.
Continue with that. Oh, yeah, my screen.
Well. Baby, there's a cup of tea that I would like to pour for you expeditiously, but if I pour this cup of tea, then everybody's going to know about this cup of tea, and it's not going to help you and me. You know what I'm trying to say? Did you ever know about something, honey? Did you ever know something about your enemy? And if you told everybody, then your enemy would know that you knew, and they would pivot from their plan? Okay, that's where I'm sitting on this cup of tea today. If I say it out loud into the everywheres on the interwebs, well, then they'll know that we know, and then they'll just pivot away from it and try to fix it or distract from it or whatever. And I want to tell you so badly. I think there might be a way to tell you. And the Red Hat crew won't know what I'm talking about, boo. Well, fuck. See, I've been privy to some chatter today. And even if I repeated that chatter word for word to you, the Red Hat crew wouldn't have a fucking clue what I was trying to say because they got their head in the fucking sand today. And besides that, they don't believe a word coming out of my mouth because I guess they can't believe people ain't getting paid to say what the fuck they want to say. Anyway, but the problem is if this gets out there in the everywhere.
I really hate people on TikTok who doesn't like going straight to the point. Like, just go straight to the point. Like, why are you beating around the corner and the bushes?
Beat around the bush.
How can I tell y'all this tea?
That too.
It's driving me crazy. I think there might be a way. Okay.
Are you kidding me?
We've been talking about JD. I want y'all to think back to all the things that I've ever said about JD. about how Daddy Dumpy Pants never wanted JD to be his VP, but he needed Peter Thiel, and it was a package fucking deal. In order to get Peter Thiel in the Brolococky and the Technococky, he had to.
And this ain't even what.
Okay,
This ain't even the one I want. So I messed it up
Everybody fucking
again.
knows that. Everybody knows that because Daddy, for the rest of the campaign trail, he kept going on and on about the 25th Amendment and shit because he thought JD was going to remove him. That's not a secret. It's also not a secret to tell you today that JD needed members of the Red Hat crew, so he started courting their little mouthpieces. He had never sat down before with Face of a Thousand Cuts, the bitch who was nuts, Miss Laura Loomer, and then all of a sudden he was trying to cozy up to Laura Loomer and out on Bell Steve Banyan and, you know, the little twink Benny Johnson and shit. And that didn't work out the way that they wanted him to. And then in September, you know, Charlie caught one, and JD seized on that opportunity and took to the Turning Coat USA stage, but that didn't work his way either. Yeah, no more favor went JD's way. So as of late, JD has taken to courting the GOP, trying to get in tight with members of Congress.
You go past it, Joe. This is not the one I want. I sent you the wrong one anyway. I can't find the right one. But this one, this is what white men want from white women and spouses, and we've got attached to their psychopathic way of relationships, right? Black men and black women, and that's why we're gonna put it before we end. Why the black birth rates are even down in America. Black people, you're not having babies. We know we can't afford them. That's why I told you the future's gonna be Africa, whether you like it or not. That's where the baby boom is happening. Everybody's dying off over here. And us as black Americans, we're going to be cooked. Because you ain't even thought about it. You got Tariq talking all this stupid FBA shit. You won't be no FBA, you fucking morons, because you won't have the replacement numbers to even replace yourself. You're not having the black women Americans are having enough babies to replace us as black Americans here. But go ahead, Joe.
Want to be in relationships. They want to fuck. Men don't like being married. They like to fuck. Don't believe me. Believe what men say. I'm a 31-year-old man. If I want company, I hang out with guys. If I want to talk, I talk to guys. If I want to play games, I play with guys. If I want to ride my motorcycle, I ride with other guys. Pause
it. Now, I want you to listen to I want you to understand, be like an anthropologist and go back through history. Their culture. You got no black men was around black men like this all the time. Remember, they always prefer men and boys. They don't like women. That's why you see them fucking the babies right now and eating them. This has always been their culture. Don't no black dude want to be around a bunch of dudes all the fucking time. That's never been us. He's a white man. He wants to be around white men. I want my boys. What? I don't want to be around no fucking man all the goddamn time. Are you fucking crazy? But that's their culture. So she's conflating white culture to the world. No, that's them. That's not black men. You never see no black man running around another black man all the fucking time. Say, hey man, around no dudes all the fucking time. You got me fucked up. It's like when you seen Speed, and Speed's a young man. Speed say, hey man, we got too many dudes in here, man. We need where the women at. Black men don't like to be around a bunch of dudes all the time. We like to be around women, not dudes. But they do. That's why she's reading for this white man. This is not black people. Black men don't like to be around a bunch of men all the time. Ever. Go ahead, read it, Joe. Go ahead.
Is because I like to look at her beauty, cuddle, and have some kind of schmegs. I can't handle a woman for longer than 2 weeks without alone time because they always drive me nuts, making everything complicated.
They've always hated women and hate their women specifically. Always hated women. Always.
That's our job. We must make shit complicated, God damn it.
Than even do for myself. They also have that horrible trait of trying to fill me up with guilt when things don't go their way one time. So sooner or later, I break up with them because I can't handle another day with them. So as a guy with that mindset, I don't even have to think about the future because there's no way I date any girl for more than 3 years.
Wow.
The issue is that I'm horny every day.
I'm horny.
And schmuckers are too expensive to fuck daily. So I'm forced to try to have a relationship and make it work until I can't stand them anymore and break up at some point. There you go. He said it all.
What's up, y'all? So I am.
Wow, that's crazy. That's super crazy.
I wanted. What was I saying that before this? I wanted to end with something. What was I was going to end with? Shit. Damn. I forgot what I said.
Say it
again. What I say, Joby?
Why they like hanging around a bunch of young boys?
No. That was something else I was going to end with.
That's it. That was related to what you said.
Was it? I said it. Say it again. What did I say?
So you're gonna end the video to explain why they like hanging around with around a young bunch of boys. Unless I got it wrong. You tried
No, that wasn't. It was something else I said. Damn. I forgot. Brain for some else. Go ahead, Joe.
Right. Remember, shout out to Joe Mosquito, Karibu Sana, shout out to Mob, everyone with us on the chat currently. I see from where I left, just a minute. A minute. Okay, here we go. Okay, I see we have Mob. Okay. Mob says Davidson also called a black woman on the red carpet at the Buffett a nigger cunt. Okay. And
Damn! What? That's crazy. That's crazy.
I also see Jomo speak to Karibusana again, says it was some fucked up alcoholic looking like white dude too. Jomo speaks adding, I'm happy these think folks giving black people that work. They like kissing white people's ass too much. And also he says Delroy Lindo is Caribbean, born in South London, born in South London, and also says I blame all of them. The
It's Caribbean. Wait. Delroy Lindo was born in Britain. I know he's correct. Is he Caribbean or is he from England? I know he's Caribbean. He born where? He born in London?
Born in South London, yeah. Born in South London.
Wow. I know Delroy. We know he's Caribbean. I didn't know he was born in England. I thought he was born in Caribbean because we know he's got Caribbean. Ain't he like Jamaican or something? Or we know he's West Indies. Is he from the Virgin Islands, Bermuda, the Bahamas, Jamaica? I think he's from Jamaica. Anyway, I don't know.
Yeah, Joseph says I blame all of them, the Fool, the BAFTA, and the BBC. It was a setup.
Of course it was. Of course it was.
Behind all of this psychological warfare against the black people, you got to be careful around them. They smile in your face, but racist as hell. And John Mosquito also asks, the football world are going crazy too over Argentina player calling a black player monkey. I love it because they are all deluded, thinking racism doesn't exist anymore. I know that.
I know.
Soccer a lot. Like, damn, that should be happening on football a lot.
What happened football, Joey?
I'm saying the racism happens on the football.
Oh,
soccer.
hell yeah, a lot. And you have, I'm gonna tell Cameron some damn. I like this white person. I like this. What? They'll call you a nigga to your face and tell you, hey, nigga, come and cut my grass.
I'm such a fan of soccer, but I can't even with the favorite team that I like because I'm a fan of Arsenal personally. John Mosquito would relate, maybe, I guess. I'm a fan of
Arsenal. Yeah, because he's that British. I said, I don't know who the hell that is.
Yeah, the only person I know in Arsenal is Saka, and maybe in Manchester City, I know Holland. I don't know the rest from the rest of the.
That's where they're from. That's where they're from. Manchester, Arsenal. From Manchester.
I don't even have a fan, like a specific fan player, but my favorite team is Arsenal. Even when I'm playing my games, I just play with Arsenal. I love it. But I also see Jerome's Crusades, I think she's talking about how to bake cookies somehow. Can you change the location in your settings? Even if I don't think I can change the locations on my setting on TikTok, it won't allow me because I don't think it can. Because my phone number, register
It
my
won't.
phone number.
It goes. It goes by the phone. Yeah, it won't allow to. It won't allow to change the settings unless you can change your number.
Yeah.
Change your number from a Kenyan number. Yeah, because them videos. Let me put a video. Like, let me put a videos I ain't never seen ever with that. Like, what is this?
Yeah, there are videos literally I'll find that they are hidden on, that you guys can see. There are videos hidden on you guys and that maybe we can see.
You see, true.
John Musker says, if black men get together, it's to chase women. And Ricky
Exactly.
says,
It's always to chase women. It ain't never. When you get your men, we say, oh man, it's a sausage fest in here. Too many damn men.
Ricky says, I always have more women around me. This is Caucasian people always playing with each other booty. I know.
Exactly. Always. See, Ricky was in the military. Ricky, be honest. With white men, it's always got to be with some. It always leads to some gay shit all the time. Them touching each other's booties, touching each other's penises. It always leads to some homosexual play. And if you don't know it, because I grew up in California with a mixed high school, right, with white people. And every time you be in a locker room, it's like, there's always some uncomfortable gay shit going on. Like, what? Why? Not doing this every time. The military, always. They want to play with each other's booties, ball sacks. It ain't never. Ain't no black man. I'm always worried about when cameras is talking that shit. Yeah, I want to be with my boys. Go hang out with my boys. I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't know no dude want to be hanging out with no boys all the time. Black men want to be around women. I don't know about no dude. Yeah, go pick up my boys, hang out with my boys. I'm like, I don't know what the hell you talking about, Camus. I don't know how you grew up. I don't know if you was abused as a child or what. I don't know what's going on.
We were talking the same thing today. It's like me and I always hang out with we were talking about relationships, and then he was like, me and my boys. Then Shmani said, don't go around Kamlesh friends, the men especially. They no good. They are no good people. No, all of them are divorced. All of them are just whores or some shit.
Yeah.
But much love, family. Coming to the end right there.
Yeah, at least she kept the real shit.
Yeah, like that's crazy. Why you always just hanging around your male friends? Crazy. But
I don't know. You hang around your dudes every now and then, Joe. Some boys you go out, but not all the time. I'm not trying to go drinking and yeah, maybe once every blue moon. But black men don't want to hang around no bunch of dudes. They want to hang around women.
Me, I don't like hanging around women. I like hanging around dudes. That's the difference with me. I don't like it, especially where there's a bunch of women. I'm just like, I'm gonna start catching just some attitude for no goddamn reason because a woman is looking at me crazy, and then I'm gonna be pissed because.
But you're just different. Usually women do hang around each other. You're just different with that. Though. That's you always got a problem with women and shit.
I don't have a problem. I just we're not gonna get along, and I don't need to pretend. I feel like women pretend a lot. That's just the truth. Women pretend, and that's for men who can see.
That's true.
Women love to pretend around each other. Oh, babes, you look so good. Oh my god.
How they do it again, Joey? How they do it again? How they do it, Joey? Say it again.
Babes, you look so good. I like your hat. I like your wig. Oh my god, where did you get your necklace? Bitch, you know you're hating on me. You know you don't like this shit. You don't like this shit. You know, you wish it was on you instead. Women are always complimenting me, but they want that shit that you have. Like, say, I don't like no woman calling me no babes. No. Call me Joby. The moment you pull that babes card, I'm like, please, next time call me Joby. And I'm always
I know. That was you told that lady. That was 2 years ago in the studio. What she called? She called you sweetie. Don't call me sweetie.
Don't do me. Yeah, that's Spike's. The Spike's lady. I was like, sweetie. Oh, sweetie, don't sweetie me. You wanna sweetie me? You can make me forget what I've just found here. Nah, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Yeah, it's always like that. I'd rather be around men because men talk a lot of trash, but they are real. I'm not gonna lie. Men just be talking about a bunch of women, a bunch of shit, but they are real at least. They are real. You see them for who they are. But women, there's a whole lot of snake shading that they need to do before you get a real one. Crazy. Much love, family. Let me have a beautiful rest part of your afternoon. Joby has finished.
Let me say this. Joby don't even fuck with the ladies at work. You guys don't even know that. Joby don't even mess with the ladies at work. What a no good butt.
And it's disrespectfully. Hey, I respect you. You respect me. We're cool. We're cool. We're working. We're working. No one. It's just respectfully. There's nothing like, we have any issue with each other. Just, I don't want you pretending, Joby, nah. Keep it off my face. The moment they do that, they start coming to work late. Babes, babes. Then if I question you, like, nah, but babes, nah, I'm not gonna try
babes.
Babes. You're trying to make me not check on you because you want to apply the babes thing. Nah, please, let's stop. Let's not do that. So much love, family. Have yourselves a beautiful
family.
And see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place. Peace, and we out.
Peace, family.